Hello and welcome back to Boring Dad Gaming, where today we're going to carry on with I Was a Teenage Exocolonist. So things have been looking up a bit recently. The colony's sort of back on its feet. Nothing too dramatic happening really at the moment. Don't really know what to do. Well, there's lots of stuff to do, but I don't know what to prioritise, I should say. I think so we'll give Mars another present. What do you think about the new kids? Mars asks. Most of them are very, soldiery, and I suppose that's okay if you like that sort of thing. Rex is a total hottie though, and from what I hear, she makes a significant expression with her eyebrows, conveying something. Well, she continues, I just think I have a chance with him. Found something you might like. Let's give her another yellow flower. She likes these. +4 friendship with Mars. And what are we on now? We're still on the half a heart. Well, I've had better birthday gifts. Mars sighs, rubbing one of the petals. This will look nice in my hair, thank you. It's actually her birthday. It's worth remembering. First of wet, Mars's birthday. Well, we're zero stress, aren't we? So I think what we'll do, we'll go out and take advantage of that by doing an expedition. God, Dis has got something to say. You leave the front gates and see Dis talking to one of the senior surveyors. He listens intently to their instructions, and the surveyor hands him a satchel of instruments and claps him on the shoulder before walking away. Dis turns to you. Hey, Solana, he says. He hikes the satchel on his shoulder and gives you a shy smile. It's still kind of weird to be allowed outside the walls. That could turn into a +6. I mean, that seems like a pretty good card. We'll leave him to do his work. Dis looks pretty busy, so you say goodbye and let him back to his work. You'll have to let him keep some of his secrets. For now. Oh, there's a mush thing there, but we'll get it later. Alright, back to the ridge, which is a very maze-like area, so Dis is an entirely different person when he's outside the colony walls. Without people constantly trying to correct his asocial behaviour, it's like he's blossomed into someone who's actually confident. The more time you spend with him out here, the more glimpses you catch of the real Dis. Bet you can't do this, he says, jumping off a huge boulder and doing a cool roll at the end. Wait, no. Bet you can't do it with your eyes closed. I can. You and Dis cavort around, daring each other to do more and more dangerous things. Dis isn't scared of anything. You think you see something up on one of the plateaus above you. The cliffside is covered in convenient vines. Alright, well we're going in on a romance on Dis. Dare him to kiss you on the lips. Dis goes pale. What? No, that's not the same, he exclaims. You're cheating. Wow, you might have found the one thing Dis is scared of. He insists you pick a real dare. Okay, climb up the cliff. Dis scrambles up the cliff, no problem. He turns around at the top. Now your turn. Well, you dared him, so you got to follow through. The vines are slippery and dangerous, and some of them are even alive and wriggle when you grab them. You lose your grip right at the top, and you slip and start to fall. But Dis grabs you. Got you, Dis exclaims, pulling you over the ledge. Your heart is thumping and you're all sweaty from fear, but you did it. Dis looks so calm and collected, even though he just climbed the same treacherous wall and had to save you from a long fall. Why doesn't he ever seem scared? The plateau is empty, but it provides a great view to look out over the resting ridges. You and Dis take a break and watch the shadows creep across the dusty, craggy landscape. This is the life, Dis says. No school, no gossip, no bullies, no one telling me what to do or what to think. He even props his elbow up on his knee and squints into the suns. Even with my augmentation, in the colony I always feel like such a coward. But maybe the problem isn't me, it's like everyone else, you know? I'm not scared of any of the usual stuff, monsters, getting hurt, even dying, like who cares? He continues. But humans keep finding ways to control people with fear. Well, they can't control me. We learned Dis-augment. How about that kiss, huh? Dis laughs embarrassed and starts scrambling down over the side of the cliff again. You'll have to catch me first. We will. Eventually. A beautiful little locust lands on your arm. It calmly washes its face with its forearms and vibrates its wings like it's cooling off. Ah, the poor little guy's all alone. Befriend it, more pets! It's a tougher one. +2 bonus to straights, that's good. We could do... we can do a 4, 5, 6. It's already 26, it's not too bad. 3, 4, 5... 3... 4... 5... And we'll use... Oh, no, 2, 3, 4, 5. What am I thinking? Ding, ding, ding. How's that? All right. No idea what value that's been given. Possibly nothing. Alright, we'll go 2. I want to use that 3, but it's gonna go high. So let's start with a 4, 5, 10, 8. Oh, that's 8, 9. Fine. How many was that? 2 stars. It's alright. You look it up on your holopalm. It's a mask wing, named because when it's frightened, it opens its wings all the way open and flips them forward, making it look like a grimacing manticore. Scary. But even scarier is how much they eat. They usually eat leafy plant matter, but they're not above eating fabric, wood, hair, or even skin. They swarm in dust and in hot places like the ridges. You see something out the corner of your eye and look up from your new friend. Oh. In the distance you see a haze above the ground. It's locusts. Each one is bigger than your fist. These insectoids can eat their weight in under an hour. There are millions of them out there, and they'll be here soon. Your buddy takes off to join its friends, and you gotta go. You make it to your glider in time, thankfully. You come back to this place later in the week. What foliage there had been is now stripped bare. The only thing still standing are the crystals, glinting in the sunlight. I don't get a bit stressed. We could probably do 2 more unless we get a de-stress in an event. Oh, got some bits and bobs. Ah, got an exclamation mark one. Let's do it. Expeditions has been collecting energy readings from this area, tracing the invisible ley lines of power like the one from the thumper that brought you here in the first place. They pointed you to this cave, a nexus of power at the convergence of many lines. You can feel the energy is different here, like a barely perceivable hum that prickles up the back of your neck, like something is watching you. It's likely this was some sort of important place for the convergent domain, Utopia says, leaning on her glider. I've sent teams through, but it gets mighty tight in there. I'm hoping you and Dis might have better luck wiggling in there, she continues. Might be the caves open up again, and if they do, take plenty of readings and report back to me. Dis is vibrating beside you on nearly the same frequency as the weird power fluctuations. Oh, this is the real deal, he whispers, mostly to himself. Utopia nods and leaves you to it. What's the plan? We'll prep our equipment. This time you get headlamps and a little recording drone with a floodlight attachment, a tiny buzzing flying thing that circles around your head and sometimes illuminates what you want to look at. It's intelligent, which just means it won't do what you want. Dis bats at it in annoyance. Utopia's also left you an anti-grav belt, with a warning to practice extreme caution when spelunking down there. They make you lighter, so you can climb more easily and won't hurt yourself as much if you fall. Enter the cave. The narrow entrance leads to a bigger room that animals have clearly used as a den. It's enormous, with glowing mushrooms on the walls and piles of bones in some crevices. In some places the walls are made of iridescent convergent domain obsidian, like this was once a great hall millennia ago. You can feel a cool breeze coming from somewhere, but it'll be tricky to find in the dark. Okay, hard perception challenge, let's do it. 90, I think that's our highest one yet. 10, oh, don't worry about the kudos. We could do... I think... I'll just get rid of some of the less useful cards, maybe like a 3, and then that can go up to 8, so that's 21. It's not bad for the first round. For this one I was thinking we'd do all the gem cards. I know it's not much, but 44. It's going to be quite hard. We haven't got a lot of boosters here. Oh, we just manage it. That'll do. Oh, we got 3 stars. That was the highest we could have done. Not bad. You find the source of the breeze by tossing some fine sand into the air and watching which way the dust blows. It's a very tight crack. Good thing you and Dis are so small. You squeeze through and have to shimmy along on your bellies for about 10 meters, pushing your gear ahead of you. It's uncomfortable, but Dis's excitement draws you on. Past the crack there are fewer signs of animals. The walls are smooth, grown obsidian, which has a kind of melted rainbow oil slick look. There are deeply carved glyphs on the walls at various intersections, like room designations or street names, you wonder. And other kinds of basins, alcoves grown into the rock, full of odd protrusions, all ancient and worn and inexplicable now. It feels homey. You come to realise the convergent domain must have lived underground. That's why there are so few ruins on the surface. As you follow the cave complex down, it's clear this used to be a well-travelled path. The corridors branching off to other places are now blocked off, as if a big earthquake had rattled this whole area. Only this one main path is still clear. It's too convenient to be a coincidence. The floor of the cave slopes downward like a slide, and it's quite slippery. Alright, pay attention to our footing. Oh, took a bit of stress. You follow the cave system down, 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 all the way to what must be the bottom of the cliffs. You have to climb down a 3-story wall in the last section, and are grateful to your anti-grav belt for making it easier. You're still tired, though. You can see dim light below. Daylight? You emerge into a hidden valley, totally surrounded by tall cliffs. Did you just come down all that way? You're surrounded by the ruins of convergent domain buildings, in much better condition than the windswept ones on the surface. It's perfectly still here, and as quiet as space itself. What was this? Dis whispers reverentially. Some sort of converger facility. And it feels so familiar. You remember this place from your dreams and feel a throbbing sense of importance that is a bit unnerving. Something momentous happened to you here, or will happen to you someday. You poke around a little bit, then call Utopia and give her your coordinates. She swings down on her glider, with extra ones for you and Dis tethered behind it. You're happy you won't have to climb all the way back up. She whistles. Great find, kids. This place didn't show up on any of our aerial scans. Took me a while to find a route in. Hang on. You look bushed, she says. I'll stick around to get some readings, but you head on back to the depot and get some rest. Don't worry, we ain't going to push on without you. We'll keep exploring. We're only at 80 out of 100 stress. Okay, now we're at 95. Can I go home via this? I probably can. Yeah, okay. Not bad, not bad. I think our perception's maxed. Avoid blocking events perk. Slip past all path blocking explore events. Oh, that's pretty cool. I mean, we generally do them, but if I'm at high stress and want to keep exploring, that's an option to keep going. New perk. Yeah, we just read that. Alright, what have we got? We've got a brain thing here. +1 to all mental skill increases for 3 months, okay? Let's go see if anyone's got anything to say. Dad's got something to say to us. You overhear your dad talking to one of the other cultivators. They seem to be upset about something to do with the new governor and people from the heliopause. When the other woman leaves, you have a chance to ask some of the burning questions you've had. Who are those new people? Your dad looks startled and tries to muster a friendly smile. You overheard us, eh, kiddo? Listen, Solana. He hesitates and looks around nervously as if afraid you're being watched. You're just going to have to trust us adults on this one. There are things you're still too young to understand. Okay, I guess. I want some loyalty back. I'm too rebellious. The Helios came here just like us, looking for a better life, he tells you. Some of them had other reasons too, but now that they're here, we have to learn how to work together. When your mother and I were young on Earth, we learned a hard lesson. He gives you a grim smile. We learned a lot of hard lessons. One was that it's safer to be led by one dangerous person than to be attacked by an army of them. He lets that sink in. Another was that sometimes, when adults tell you not to worry, you should listen to them. Go on, enjoy your youth. He gestures towards the heliopause. Go get to know some of those new kids. I'm sure you'll find they're a lot like you. Before you can say another word, your dad is called back to work. There's still so much to be done to rebuild the farms and geoponics greenhouses, and you can see people from the Helio helping him. Maybe they aren't all that bad. Alright, maybe we'll have a break in here. Tend to the animals. Oh! I actually meant to relax, but you meet your dad by the animal pens, fresh and ready for your first day of a new job. Your dad laughs at your clean clothes and your scrubbed face. Oh, Pumpkin, I'm sorry to tell you you're a little overdressed for the possession. He chuckles. You're going to get dirty and all heck today. Go on, put on these overalls and let's get to work. You change and follow your dad to the float cow pens. He rubs their noses as he points out their names. I know they're cute, but these ladies aren't pets, he says. They're livestock, and more than that, they're not really domesticated, not like our animals back on Earth. They're more like tame. We give all the animals lots of room to roam, and we feed them as well. They're not going to get chased down and eaten by bigger animals, and we help them if they're sick. It's a pretty good deal, I think, but they're still pretty wild, he says. You gotta be careful with them. He leans his elbows on the fence. We were pretty lucky that Vertamna has herd animals, he says. Makes it a little easier. We'll probably have real domestic animals in a couple of 100 years. Well, kiddo, your dad says, spreading his arms. We've got all these animals. What do you want to learn about first? Trippets sound fun. What's a trippet? Of these things. No joke. We thought these guys were just plants for the first couple of years, your dad says. We transplanted them from the wild into the greenhouses, but I guess that was just part of their life cycle, because it turns out they're sentient, can move around and stuff. We moved them out of the greenhouses and into the barns, but we don't really treat them differently. They still mostly just sit there. What about bristle slugs? Oh yeah, we got a ton of them, he says. They're great, slow and easy to catch and real gentle. Don't let the spikes fool you. They're actually really cuddly, and don't mind it if you pet them. It actually helps them. In the wild, they'd be scratching up on all sorts of things trying to knock off those itchy berries. He scrunches up his nose. They're not really berries, they're more like eggs. Well, they're like berries though because they're sweet, and you know what? Never mind. Autumnal animals is pretty weird. Float cows. Your dad gestures at the herd of float cows. Here they are. Beautiful, aren't they? And pretty gross. You don't want to know where they make their milk, but I'll give you a hint. It's not dairy. He laughs at your wrinkled nose. There's not any word of them when people used to drink cow's milk. I mean, who's the first guy who decided to do that? We figured out that if we keep feeding them what they'd be eating during pollen, they'll keep making milk year round, he continues proudly. It makes them heavy enough that they don't float away. Otherwise we'd have to keep them on leads like balloons. Sugar bugs. Your dad takes you to the rows of crates where the soft, squishy sugar bugs are all clumped up together in the moist muck. These guys are pretty cool, he says, picking one up. It fits perfectly in his palm. They're a colony, just like us, and if you tackle them, you get... He brushes his finger on the top of a sugar bug, and a little jet of gooey stuff comes out. Sugar bug syrup, he says. Pretty neat, right? Let's get started. Great, your dad says, clapping you on the back. That's the kind of energy I want to see around here. We need someone to muck out the float cow stables. They might float, but their poop sure doesn't. He hands you a shovel. Have fun. Okay, quite an easy one. Does he have to be next to it? It actually doesn't. So that's actually good. So we can go 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with that. How's that? That's 32. We could probably do more with that. 31 actually. Okay, maybe we could change their suits, but that's fine. Pretty cool. Alright, we're too stressed to do anything now. So we'll go back in here. I wanted to just relax in the park. Your dad calls you over. Hey, tomato head, he says, running his hand through his hair. Have you ever thought about coming to work on the farm with your old man? I can really use the hands round here. Gives you a tired smile. He's been really working hard since your mum died. Well, if you think you're ready, I need people who know more than what end of a shovel goes on the ground. Yeah, Biology 20, we're biology masters. Your dad looks relieved. Great, he says. Just come see me in geoponics when you're ready to start. Glad to have you. More fun than wheeling dirt around, I promise. Right, we're relaxing. I think it's going to be into glow though, isn't it? Do we want to forget? I want to forget this one. I don't like that one. Ah, we're into glow. New perk. What do we get? Extra gear slot. That's for animals. Number 2. Excelente. Alright, we'll go and do that now. So I'll probably bring back the Vricky, because we get +1 bonus to straights, +1 skill on challenge win, which is awesome. Yeah, I mean, I don't have to think about that too hard at all, in fact. Nice. Right, so... probably won't be able to do much except just sit indoors like we generally do, but we'll have a little look around in case anyone's here to talk to. We can visit the supply depot. We've got quite a lot of money now. I might buy this drone rifle actually. plus 50 combat. 2 times bonus for strength pairs. Maybe. I might add that instead of the sun medallion, actually. Yeah. Now combat is kind of maxed. I don't know if we get the perks for that, though. But the 2-time bonus to pairs will be good. I don't know if Dis has got anything to say in glow. Dis looks up at the dark sky, illuminated by the fungal glow coming from the forest. Do you think it's going to make a difference? He asked, not looking at you. The soldiers, the walls, the explosives. They're going to keep coming harder and harder until we're dead. But how about one of... He likes alien stuff. Have a strange device. Yeah. Dis's eyes light up when he sees your gift. Whoa, he says, taking them from you with uncharacteristic delight. Is this... Where did you find this? It looks like some kind of alien artifact. It's got to be. Hell's to the air. I don't think anyone has anything specific to say to us. So maybe we'll go and rest up, and whatever is going to happen in this glow is going to happen, I guess. The old lounge is toast. What was left over from the attack last glow was destroyed in the crash. The new lounge just isn't the same. You miss the bean bags and the walls covered with art you scrawled as kids. Someday this place will feel like the heart of the colony again, but right now it just reminds you of how chaotic and horrible this past year has been. I'm going to keep both of those. They're gem cards, that seems good. Got a friendship with Rex going. You're relaxing in your quarters with your dad when you hear the colony siren. The enemy is here. Your dad looks up from his novel. Huh? Seems early this year. We should head to the shelter in the lounge. You've been drilling on new evacuation procedures for the past month. There's no need to be a hero now that there are so many new soldiers in from the Helio. It's probably best if you just follow instructions and head to the lounge with your dad. Or we can rush to the front lines. Again. You muster with the rest of the defence force at the gates. Rhett and Lum are arguing about what tactics to employ. Lum keeps trying to rally the soldiers with a heartening speech about giving it everything they've got. All the drones, all the explosives, and Rhett keeps cutting in. We don't need to take any big risks, Rhett insists. It's a smaller attack and we have more than enough plas rifles and turrets. We should save our other resources for when we do need them. Why do things halfway? Lum exclaims. We need to get in there and kick their asses back to the goo they came from. We need to show people that we have everything under control for morale. Rhett tries one more time to wrest control of the forces back from Lum, but Lum cuts him off. Fire the explosive rounds, he orders. Arm the charges. Shells scream through the permanent night, followed by explosions you feel vibrate up through your boots. The Helios are unfazed, but you and the other Strato guards exchange nervous looks. You hear yelling, then another boom as the secondary explosives detonate. The baying of bloodthirsty animals reaches your ears, and then... Lum holds his finger to his earspeak. Great work, just the stragglers incoming. Open the gates. To battle. So... See, I was going to do a 2-3-4, but it's going to add 2 to check cards with gems. Well, that could be a 5. Oh well. We should do pairs, really. Just get rid of the useless cards, really. I'm sure we'll be able to do 20 here. You face off against a lesser Xeno, some kind of finned, semi-aquatic thing already half dead and limping doggedly through the gates. It's almost comical how easy it is to stun and kill it. By the time you're done, the other soldiers have dispatched the rest of the creatures. Smoke drifts in from the battlefield, from the explosions, an acrid scent of triumph. After the attack, Lum gathers everyone in the lounge and holds a big celebration for the soldiers. There's feasting and drinking and songs of valour, and as the party goes on long into the night, some drift away in pairs. Or more. Mars and Rex keep the dancing going. Even an enemy seems to relax, especially when the other cadets invite her to drink with them. Tonight, everyone seems convinced that this victory means the colony will be safe forever. Maybe it will be. You sure want to believe it too. Well, that's gone better than most, so we're 16 now. We gained a lot of combat, but I think most of that's from the gear that we were wearing. We made friends with everyone, really, mostly Dis. We're also pretty good with Cal. Mars needs work. An enemy's alright. Vase and Rex are new, so I haven't done a lot with them yet. 16. Okay. So, what are we going to do with ourselves is the question. I feel like I want to just keep exploring, to be honest. I'll go and do another expedition. Let's go back to the ridge. We haven't seen all of the ridge yet. Now I can go past the question marks. So his clothes and stands up tall. Very tall. You have to take another step back to get a good look at him. You catch a glimpse of a pale purple wrist under his tattered black sleeves, delicate, like bird bones. I am a gardener, he purrs, and you're trespassing on my planet. Now that you can see his, all of him, you confirm he's definitely not human. Besides the purple tint to his skin, he's also just constructed differently. Human, but not, and taken as a whole, those little discrepancies add up to something that is decidedly alien. You're an alien? He laughs, a light and infectious chuckle that sounds more animal than human. It goes on for a bit too long. You think he might be poking fun at you. Actually, you're the alien here, if you think about it. You do think about it. He's right. He jumps up onto a large rock and crouches, eyeing you thoughtfully. Let's make a deal, he says. He speaks with an odd inflection, putting the wrong stress on things, but the words themselves come easily enough to him. It sounds a bit like Christopher Walken. Maybe I should do a Walken voice. I'm not supposed to talk with you. And I can't do a Christopher Walken. I'm not supposed to talk to you, he says. It's against the rules. But since you've caught me, I can grant you one wish. He smiles mischievously. Is this a joke? I wish to know more about you. He gives you a sly look. In time, Solana. I hope we... He pauses and his eyes unfocus for a moment. He stares straight ahead, unblinking. Then he slowly stretches like a cat and stands up. Well, this has been fun, but I'm afraid duty calls. He doffs an invisible hat towards you. My name is Symbiosis, by the way. Or Sim, if you like. He jumps behind the rock and disappears. Literally, he disappeared. You search all around and can find no trace of where he might have gone, or how. Stars, you just met an alien. Cool. Is there anywhere I haven't gone yet? I haven't been there. How do I get there? Let's go around this way again. Can you actually get there? I presume you can. No idea how. Oh, it's Sim again. You're walking up a trail when you're caught by surprise. It's Sim, and he's running? You're knocked to the side as he pushes past you, running in the opposite direction with barely a glance. You shout and chase after him, but after a few seconds it becomes clear you don't have a hope of finding Sim when he doesn't want to be found. You turn and continue along the path, and around the next bend you spot a familiar face. Utopia. She's collecting rock samples with a pickaxe, and like an old-timey prospector. Who the hell was that? She demands. Oh, just an alien named Sim. Utopia squints at you with her trademark gruff humour. An alien, eh? Is this some kind of role-playing thing? She hikes her pickaxe off her shoulder. Whatever. Just watch where you're running, okay? The gravel's loose around here. You agree, happy to be out of this conversation without any trouble, and continue on along the path before Utopia asks any more questions. You wait a couple of minutes before you see Sim again. He seems to be in good humour despite the close call. Oh, he says, leaning against a tree. It is tiresome to be so secretive. He wipes his eyes, brimming with mirth. It is such a pleasure to be around you and Dis, and not have to hide myself. He sobers quickly. It would be best if you exercised discretion, though, he says. It is not the right time for the gardeners to be formally introduced. To do so early would cause a great degree of chaos. Yes, even the female surveyor, he continues. I do like her, but I have learned from my limited experience with your kind that adults of your species do not react well to surprises. It is good that you're here, though, Sim continues, as I do need something from you. Data. What? Sim holds up his hands. Please, do not be alarmed, he says placatingly. I do not mean sensitive information such as personnel and defences. I mean only the contents of your digital cultural archive. Like holovids? Sim smiles. Yes, exactly. Your holographic recordings of movies, music, books. Cultural artifacts only, I promise. Why? Well, Sim says, isn't it obvious? I wish to know more about your kind. I wish to learn how to... He struggles for the right phrasing. I wish to learn how to act in such a way that is not so discomforting to humans. All right, why not? What could go wrong? Sim's gentle smile grows warmer. Truly? He asks, clasping his hands. Oh, I thought it would take a great deal more convincing. You are surprising. It's such a pleasure. You tell Sim that you can likely find a mem drive in engineering and fill it with the data he wants. Should we flirt with Sim, but request payment of another kind? Eyes waggling. Sim startles and laughs, his hand shooting up to cover his mouth. Oh, you're so bold, Solana. That is a quality I genuinely admire about you. What a marvellous gift, to be able to simply voice whatever is on your mind without the burden of forethought. He taps his lips thoughtfully. Perhaps watching your holographic videos will help me understand the nuances of your request. I think we've definitely been down there. Is this the place I could see that I was trying to get to? It might be. I think it is. I might do this question mark. Oh. We've seen this! Alright. I'll take some more readings, I suppose. Yeah, alright. Yeah, this is why I wasn't going to do too many just normal question mark events here, because I've noticed that they do tend to repeat. When you get, got bonus skills from it, I suppose. It's not like it's a bad thing. It's just, I kind of want to see, new and different stuff, really. Got another device here. Yeah, we're kind of heading back towards the end of the expedition, which is up there, actually, so I'm heading away from it now. But, I've definitely been here. I remember these sort of round rocks. Dis was here at one point. Oh, I've got Utopia there now. Guess we go talk to her. Have a quick look over here first. Have I been here? Ooh. Is that going to be the same one? Oh no, this has got an exclamation mark. Let's do Utopia's event first, and then we'll come back and do that. Utopia has sent a team of geologists to get a closer look at this region's weird terrain. You come across them working, and Utopia beckons you over. Solana, she says, drawing everyone's attention to you. Solana, come here. Everyone, Solana's been working in this area a while, and I'm sure he's got plenty of information on what's out here. The geologists politely turn towards you and listen. Here's what we've got so far, Utopia says, speaking directly to you. Judging from how the layers of sedimentation are broken up, this place used to be pretty flat, for there must have been a ton of earthquake activity, ripping up the land and bringing up these huge ridges. We can date the quakes around the time a lot of these ruins were created, she adds. And we're looking, but we haven't seen anything built after them like that was it for the old convergent domain. These broken up layers are the same across the planet. Something sure happened about 20,000 years ago. Help them work. You set up a drone hive to measure the sediment layers along the cliffside and learn a few things about rocks. Oh, right, okay. Fine. Let's go and do the yellow question mark then. Exclamation mark, I mean. Utopia's given you clearance to poke around the ruins in the secret valley. Stars, this place is neat. Dis thinks so too. At least we didn't have to climb back down again, he mutters, but you can tell he's excited. The buildings are arranged in a spiral formation around a central point. They're made of that oil-slick obsidian, something that looks like petrified bone, and have parts missing, where some other organic material has long since rotted away. It's all overgrown with vines and buried in shifting sands. You follow the spokes of the streets until you approach the centre of the valley, where a large pyramid-shaped building sits surrounded by thumpers and a variety of other smaller buildings. Alright, check out the pyramid. You walk all around the massive pyramid, but you don't see any entrance into it. It's sealed tight. It vibrates with significance and looms hugely in your dream memories. You feel faint just being close to it, but Dis doesn't seem to feel anything. When he insists you give up and investigate something else, you don't complain. Alright, look at the thumpers. The 4 thumpers are in careful alignment, forming a square with wide paths between them, and the pyramid in the centre. One is almost totally reduced to rubble. None are still active. Okay, let's investigate the other buildings. Smaller, more deteriorated pyramid buildings dot around the valley, purposes unknown. There are also dozens of little obelisks, a couple meters wide, with circular design on one side. You approach a random one of these on the edge of the valley. You lean on one of the round designs and the iris dilates open, sections grinding back like the world's rustiest automated door. Now you're looking through a large round door into a small featureless room. Quite small, quite featureless, totally dark. Very creepy, but you can hear a faint hum. It's still powered? Right, we're going to do the bravery challenge, hard challenge. We've got to hit 90. Well, we're going to save those when we've got some actual gems, although... So that could be a 6, and that could be a 7, so we could actually... I don't know. I guess it's okay. $29. It's going to be a bit of a risk, this. This might be the first one we don't manage. Don't have any red cards. Don't have any yellow cards. To get 12. Okay. Yeah, we've got a 4. It's going to be reasonably helpful. There, we've managed it. Okay. Okay, that was a bit tough, but we got there. You walk in, Dis close behind, and suddenly the iris closes, the floor lurches, and you're moving down. An elevator. The elevator squeals and grinds away like it hasn't been used in, literally, thousands of years. It doesn't go far, then grinds to a halt when the iris opens to reveal a large room with obsidian walls. Like all convergent domain spaces, it's more cave than room, with stalactites everywhere and giant lumpy mounds of fungus. You wonder if the obsidian stuff they built with melts over time, running and dripping in extreme slow motion. There are consoles on all the walls, like this is some kind of control room maybe. Most of it is dark and covered with a thick layer of dust, except one device with 2 weird bony knobby sticks poking out of it. I mean, obviously we're going to touch stuff at random. You poke at things and grab sticks at random until suddenly you cease to be yourself. You're like a visual, audio and weirdly tactile representation of something vast. You have a feeling of being in a large and complex space. No, like you are the space. A digital space like a computer system. As if you were sucked inside a 3D representation of the HoloNet, and you could see files and processes and whole worlds of data, but in alien formats that speak to you more in sensation than logic. You let go of the sticks and the console room comes back. You grab them again and understanding fills your head. It feels not all that different from your bouts of déjà vu, remembering. Like of memories being inserted into your mind, and you suddenly just know how to use this interface. You just think where you want to go or what you want to know, and away you go. The word array comes to mind. A network of computers hosting millions of data nodes, information on every part of the planet from weather to soil conditions to individual creatures. Not just computers, but entities that feel intelligent, and also digital, artificial consciousness like your ship's AI congruence. They're processing all that data and triggering subroutines to make minute changes on the planet's surface. Then a booming voice enters your brain and obliterates all else, speaking more in abstract thought than words, but loud. "What are you doing in Wormhole Observatory Array Console 5? You nosy little creature." Then an explosion in your head and you're thrown backwards and out of the array. There must also have been an explosion in your hands, which are now singed. The console is blown out and dead. You're shaken. Something didn't like you poking around in there. Whatever the array is, whatever lives in it has been watching you, probably ever since you landed. You have a feeling Sim has something to do with this. He's either in league with the array or he's part of it. But knowing Sim, he won't tell you anything until he's ready to. You tell Dis about the array and the voice saying Wormhole Observatory. He looks around impressed. "Oh, the conversion domain was sure up to some shit," he says. "And now you know about the array and how to access it. That could come in very useful if it turns out to be a danger to your colony." You decide to call it a day. Your arms feel all tingly and weak from getting electrocuted, and your heart is still thumping a mile a minute. But you'll be back. Yeah, we're going to go home, I think. And I think we'll probably call it a day there. Seems like probably a good place to end it. Let's let all these come out. Okay, well, we'll let the birthday event play out, because I'm not sure if the game will have saved. The suns rise again after glow, heralding a new year. It's your 16th birthday. You wake in your new quarters, blinking into the watery sunlight. Dust motes float through the air, and you take a moment to enjoy the perfection of your bed, while you listen to the sounds of the colony waking up outside. So much has happened in 1 year. Just a few short months ago, you thought your life was over. Now it's better than ever. There's plenty of food, and the colony is safe. You even have your own bedroom. You're considering snoozing until your dad wakes up when your reverie is interrupted by someone sitting on your balcony. It's Dis. On your balcony? How did he get up here? You're finally awake, Dis says, slipping off your railing. I thought you were going to sleep away your whole birthday. Happy birthday, by the way. You watch the sunrise in companionable silence. Your dad wakes up shortly after that and you order up your traditional birthday breakfast feast. He gives you a big squeezy hug and tells you he's proud of you. That was rather pleasant. And interesting. There's definitely something going on in this world, and I feel like we're getting ever closer to understanding what that is. But we're going to leave it there for now, so thanks very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode of I Was a Teenage Exocolonist. If you did, then please hit the like button on the video, subscribe to the channel as well. That would be absolutely fantastic if you could. Leave a comment, let me know what you think about this, where it's going. What are your theories about what's happening with the planet? Let me know. And in the meantime, I hope to see you again next time. So, bye for now.